So I'm just putting some color down here similar to the pieces, the finished pieces. This is just a sample piece to show you a couple of the techniques. And just for fun, I'll use a little bit of this color called Compose Blue from Holbein. These other two are from Golden. Now the first technique I want to show you is this scratching through. I am using a regular sort of craft knife here. And first I'm just making a line. And this will go through the blue and green paint. It'll go through the layer of white. And so you'll get this vivid red showing beneath. So first I just make the line. But then it takes a little more work than that to get the line more visible. So I can go with this really thin line, or I can widen it out. And I can do a little scribbling too. And then of course that takes a fair amount more work to go in and either clean up or widen the lines, make them a little more visible. But I can do that selectively. Another tool I've been using is this one-sided razor. And let me just get a little different quality of line with this. So I can use this to make lines, but I can also use it to scrape paint away like this. And this is a technique that I often use in my encaustic work, where you scrape the surface of the wax to get a nice smooth top surface. So I just had these razor blades and I thought I would just give it a try. So the paint is layered. It's 2 coats of red, a coat of gloss medium, and then the neutrals and the blue and greens that I put on top of that. And this isn't to make a smooth surface. This is to scrape away bits of the top layers to reveal what's underneath. And this is kind of addictive. Of course, the more layers of paint you have under there, the more possibilities there are for revealing interesting things underneath. So here I can get sort of a distressed surface. And then, like if I decided I didn't want that, like, I don't like that red poking through, I can just like do this. Or wait, that's the wrong color. There, do that. And let that dry. Another little technique here I've used is, once I have the lines sort of more or less where I want them, there are places where I've scraped all the way through to the white paper. And to me that's looking a little messy. So I'm going to take this teeny tiny brush and get a little of the bright red or orange paint on it and just go touch it up. It's amazing how much of this final detail tweaking I do in my work. I spend a lot of time doing this tiny, tiny detail-y stuff that you wouldn't think of just to look at the pieces. Another technique I want to show you is spattering with a toothbrush. You've probably all done that. It's not rocket science. One kind of cool material you can use for this is these golden airbrush colors, or they're also called, more recently they are called high flow colors. So you'll see them labeled both ways. Same stuff, but they're very liquid. And so you can just take a toothbrush, I just stick it in water and then wipe it with a paper towel just so it's damp. And then take this high flow paint. I hold the brush like this and drag my thumb across it this way. Now, if you don't have the high flow paint, you can use fluid acrylics and then just mix just enough water to make it spatterable. The advantage to the high flow colors, or the airbrush colors, is that they have very dense pigment. You don't have to water down the pigment in order to get that real fluid quality.